this is International Master Fernando Valenzuela from Chess Strategies 1. Today we will talk about attacking with the King's Indian defense. Before that, let me remind you to like, share and subscribe Chess Strategies 1. So now White keeps trying to play Knight c4 by playing a4, and of course if Black takes, then Knight c4 and the game is still alive. But after a6, just defending the pawn, everything is under control for Black. So a takes. Rook c7 is a desperate try. I mean, White's position is about to collapse and Black is just attacking normally. Rook g7, Knight b3, and now still attacking with Knight h4, attacking the pawn on g2. Rook c2, White needs to defend. And now there are a lot of moves for Black. Maybe one of the most strange moves which wins for Black is Bishop g1. And yes, everything is working because let's say if Bishop takes g1, then just Knight takes f3 and let's see, this is checkmate. And if Queen f2, this is a deadly check. Queen takes, and yeah, this is about to be a checkmate anyway in few moves. So even this is winning, so pretty much every move is winning, but you need to attack. I mean, pretty much every move is winning, but every attacking move. Here Black played another very nice move, which is Bishop h3. Of course, he wants to attack. Again, the g2 pawn, and after, let's say, g takes, there's a very easy checkmate in 3 moves. Can you spot it? Yes? Of course. Queen g1, Bishop takes, Rook takes, King h2, and Knight takes f3. So here White is still defending the g2 pawn with Queen a2, Queen e2, and now after Knight takes g2, the attack is just so fast. I mean, here you might think that Black blundered a piece, but it is everything calculated. I mean, Bishop takes, Queen takes, and of course we don't want to exchange queens and being a piece down. We are just going to play Queen h4, attacking the Queen with the Rook on g7, and if the Queen moves, then just Knight g3 and Knight takes the Queen and checkmate very soon. So here White almost resigned by playing Queen takes g7, and after King takes, Rook check, King h8, Knight d1, Knight f4, Rook g3, Bishop f2, and the next moves are not really important because now White resigned even without the next Black move, which will be probably just Rook g8, exchanging the defending Rook on g5, and after, let's say, Rook takes, King takes, White position is just about to be checkmated. I mean, Bishop takes c1 and Queen g2 checkmate are the threats. So yes, this was a very easy game for Black because he played a very straightforward plan, and you might think that nowadays it is not that easily, but it is not easy to play for white. So even if white knows what he's doing, black's attack is so easy to play that white can make a mistake at any moment. In the next game, we are going to see a very important game in history. Why? Because it was in a World Championship match. The first match between Botvinnik and Mikhail Tal. And this game was a win for black. And if you think in a match, winning with black is really important, because in general white wants to push and black needs to hold. So when the player who is playing with black is going to play with white next game, he will push without any risk. If he pushes with black, then if he loses the next game with white, he will desperately need to win in order to not lose in the match. So let's see the game. It is not a d4 opening. White starts with c4, but it is going to transpose anyway. So after c4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, g3, bishop g7, we are playing a King's Indian defense against the fianchetto. White is not playing like our last game with bishop g2. This is a little bit different, but it is pretty much the same moves for black. Okay, this is well known to be a solid approach for white, not always that ambitious. I mean, black can equalize with a good play, but for a World Championship match it is very smart, because Botvinnik was playing against one of the most strong attacking players in history. So if you are playing white and black is going to attack you, you just hold the position, you play solidly, and you hope to outplay him strategically. So it is a very good choice, but in this game black won anyway, playing an attack. So now, after bishop g2, just short castle, d4, d6, knight c3, knight bd7, short castle, and now e5. This is like the last game, but now the difference is that black committed with the knight on d7, which is not bad at all, but black position is not that active. So after e4, c6, h3, nice prophylactic move, queen b6, which is the old approach. Nowadays pretty much anyone plays like this, because it is supposed to be very good for white, but back those years queen b6 was a fully playable move. So after d5, which is sort of punishing black for playing queen b6, because after d5 the queen is not always well placed. Here the most critical move will be c5, because after d takes, of course, white can play d takes. So now after d takes e5, white is attacking the knight on f6. Black will need to play something like knight e8, and now white will have a very nice move, which is indeed very theoretical. Nowadays everything is analyzed. So e6, f takes, knight g5 attacking this pawn. Black needs to defend with this bishop, so he play knight e5, and after f4, knight f7, and knight takes. White is just going to play e5, and black position is cramped. I mean, this is very hard for black. So here black needs to play this check. Now the best move is king h2. Now rook takes, and after e5 the bishop is a little bit misplaced on d4, and white position is just superior. But yeah, back those times theory was not that advanced in this variation, and both Vinnik's approach is not bad. d5, and now I need to say that black is going to play on the queen side for now, but it is white who has a space advantage on the queen side, so it is going to be difficult to make the black play success. But let's see the game. So after d5, c takes, just opening up the c file for black pieces. C takes, knight c5, and now white is playing the same move we see the last game, which is knight e1, just trying to play knight d3 and exchanging the knights, because the knight on c5 is so active. So now black's best move would have been knight fd7, just preparing, because now this is not so great, because take takes and knight c5 and f5 next, and black position is so good. So this will be very good, but yeah, probably Tal was thinking about another white move, and this knight is not clear where it's going if white is not playing knight d3. So he played bishop d7, just the most straightforward move in the position, developing and preparing for some rook to c8. Knight d3, which was the idea of Vinnik. Knight takes, queen takes, and now black would have played knight h5, just to play with f5, and it is not exactly what we just saw. I mean, the same attack, but sort of it. I mean, the structure is the same, so the plans are going to be more or less the same. He played first rook fc8. Rook b1 is a very nice prophylactic move. He wants to defend this pawn so he can play bishop e3. Now Tal plays knight h5, which is a very normal move, trying to play at some moment f5, bishop e3, queen b4, queen e2, protecting the queen because the queen was a little bit loose on d3. So this is a very prophylactic move. Let's remember that both Vinnik was a very strong strategic play, positional play. He was very good at tactics, but Tal was really a monster in tactics. So white really wants the play to be quiet. He don't want a lot of dubious complications. So he's just playing solidly. Rook c4, black wants to double on the c file. So after rook f c1, rook a c8. Here white will have played a very strong move, and after a3, black will play probably queen b3, just putting the pieces on the weakness of white. But now after a very nice and maybe difficult move, which is bishop f3, attacking this knight, if knight f6, just queen d2, and yes, I'm sure you are thinking the same as me. White is threatening bishop d1 and bishop e2, winning some material because black pieces get trapped on the queen side. But yeah, this was maybe too deep. He was afraid of something because Tal was always pressing. It is difficult to think without any fear against Tal. So White played king h2, which is not a nice move. It is not a bad or losing move,